top spot. I just need that feel. One click moment, got my heart on real. Finger on the button, yeah, I'm ready to go. Win or lose, baby, I still steal the show. Leaderboard shining, but I'm vibing my lane. Every single click got a story, no shame. Was it luck? Was it fate? Was it coded just right? Or a glitch in the system trying to kill my hype? But I bounced back quick, yeah, I fixed that bug. Turn a loss to a lesson, now I level it up. That one click hit like a spark in the dark. Now I'm lighting up the chain, yeah, I'm leaving my mark.
G Market guys. Really love our intro song. But welcome back to another amazing community. Joined by Ryan, our Chief Product Officer. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Josiah? Hey, Jules.
I'm good. I'm excited. Hey, Jules. How's it going?
G-Market guys, I'm good. Hello Ryan. Hello Jay.
Cool. Awesome. Guys, by the way, before we get into this community, please keep making amazing songs and keep, keep sending them our way. Really love
We
them.
love
Really
the
love
songs.
them. Yeah.
My favorite part of the
we
week.
do. Definitely. I think Miss Jules, there was a time Miss Jules says community R is like the best R in crypto. So, definitely. Um, Yeah, guys. So quickly, let's get into it, guys. Linera Markets is live, right? We've been talking about it. So many updates coming, even throughout the call, in subsequent calls, right? But if you're wondering what Linera Markets is, if this is your first time, you're wondering what it's all about. Quick, rundown is Linera Markets is basically a real-time prediction markets where you can, get to predict on markets as low as 1 minute, right? So which is basically not seen to the best of my knowledge, and Ryan, you can confirm, right? This is basically, the first time this is, people are able to predict on 1 minute market, right? And yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically, 1 minute parameter market, right? Ryan, sorry, you wanted to say
yeah.
something?
Very few examples of people who are even testing it in betas or on live. I think what people
Yeah.
are struggling with is those who've implemented it through like a CLOB or liquidity providers
Oh,
or
yeah.
a traditional order book. It's a very fast frequency of markets, right? Running them for only a minute.
Mhm.
Just because we're doing it on up downs and crypto doesn't necessarily change anything, right? It could be a 1 minute market on anything. And that's
Yeah.
traditionally very difficult to provide. Yeah, so currently still no one's gone live with them. Obviously, the giants have turned their focus on the perpetual futures market, which is also something we can
Yeah.
talk about at the time.
Yeah, cool. And the cool thing is, like, it's purely pari-mutuel markets, right? So it's not you against the house, right? It's completely, peer-to-peer pools, and you literally watch the pools adjust in real time. And there's so many, amazing things. One I'm particularly excited about, and we're going to talk about that during the course of the community hour. But yeah, it's live, guys. Linera Markets, try it out. If this is your first time, definitely give it a shot. Give us your feedback in the chat, and feel free to, flex your winning streak on us as well. Um, yeah, Ryan. So the key thing, we always talk about the numbers, right? And one key thing is the numbers have always been positive, right? Like from the number of unique traders to the total, volume and things like that, and even the, USDC prices as well. And I'm sure you're definitely excited about, the numbers we're seeing so far.
Definitely. I mean, it's a unique opportunity to be running a beta, especially for an L1 consumer app product that's vertically integrated, right? Where you can have hundreds of thousands of transactions running a day, right? Like normally you would need to, I don't know, run your own bots or manufacture some crazy different type of campaign to get that type of thing, right? And at this point, we know that the InfoFi world and we know that like the farming world has mostly died off, right? So the people who are still, checking out Linera at this point truly believe that, our consumer app can be one of the bigger ones. And the most helpful thing that anyone can do for us at this point is to help us make the app better, right? And the best way to make the app better is to get it snappy at scale, right? It's one thing to have an app in a beta with 100 people testing it and say, oh my God, it works so well. It's a totally different thing to have 10,000 people on it every day doing 600,000 predictions every single day and doing, the equivalent of ERC20 transactions in, $140 million range, right? If you switch that GMIC to a USDC, you'd be saying, holy shit. So we're in this situation where we get to be fortunate enough to test our product at scale well before we actually have to go to mainnet, right? And we can really make sure the product is super, super snappy and ready to handle that type of day one mainnet volume.
Yeah. And Ryan, one key thing I would even like to mention is even, also from like a user perspective, because like I use, linear markets as well. And like the improvement has been, incredible, right? Like in terms of even how snappy it's getting, response times, the interaction from the front end, right? So, and that also goes to show like, appreciation to the linear community as well for their continuous, testing, showing up to help provide feedback that has helped shape, the journey of linear market so far, which is pretty
Yeah, I
exciting.
mean, we've caught so many bugs that probably would like
Yeah,
decimate a fledgling product very early on if they weren't caught by, raw volume of people coming in and actually interacting with the app. So we're really impressed with what we've seen from basically the conversion rates from, the portal users who are coming in waiting for something exciting to happen. And then obviously when something exciting happens, who knows if it aligns with your interests, right? If I was
yeah,
looking for a game, if I was looking for 100 apps, who knows, right? The market's changed significantly over the last 3 years. But now that we've gotten this app, it's really impressive to see how many people have kind of taken that leap of faith with us to help really make a strong consumer app.
yeah, yeah. Ryan, there's a question here, and I don't know if you want to maybe throw a bit more light on it, but it's been a recurring question a couple of times, right? Some people
Oh,
might
of
be
course.
wondering, is mainnet like 2 years away?
No, no,
Right?
no, of course. So like we wouldn't be testing a consumer application this early on in a beta if we weren't confident that it was directly related to that map, to mainnet, right? And as an L1, obviously functionally going to mainnet's our entire purpose for existing. So
Yeah,
it's the primary focus for the company. Now, what does that mean and what does that look like? Means one, the product needs to be ready, right? The infrastructure needs to be ready. We need to build the bridge. We need to make sure. Obviously, I just was talking to the community advisors about how we're basically ready any day now to test the bridge from base Sepolia or base mainnet to Linera testnet. And the idea is that testnet Conway. And the idea there is that as soon as we feel very solid with that, then everything goes to, okay, we don't want to just wake up one day and turn mainnet on. We want to generate some hype. We do have a very solid base of users right now, but the realistic outcome is that our users are distributed over different portions of the world that have different impacts over other distribution channels, right? Like crypto Twitter. If I wanted to get a bunch of crypto Twitter people to come play, it probably wouldn't help if all of my friends in Nigeria and Indonesia, depending on where all of our users are in our communities, start amplifying us, right? Like it's just not going to resonate in the same way. Now, do I believe that our current 13,000 traders, when mainnet comes, will multiply? Of course. I mean, we have 150,000 people who've never connected to the app, right? Like, and we already have 38,000 total users who have even tried it. There's plenty of people who tried the app, said, this looks good. I'm really waiting for mainnet, right? I'm waiting for a big mainnet campaign. So with the foundation we have, it's not unrealistic that we push into mainnet with hopefully tens of thousands of users, right? Which would put us well competitive with major chain launches right now. So our idea is to continue to generate that really strong evangelism from the people who've been with us for years now all over the world and try to bring that into the mass market.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ryan. I mean, in a nutshell, keep supporting, guys. We're not far off. We're not far off. So going forward, guys, Wicked competition is live, right? So, Ryan, before we go into this, right, I saw a community update where the pending USDC payments have been sent out, right?
Yeah,
Just to confirm.
So, just wanted to appreciate everyone for the patience over the last couple of weeks. We were setting up a multi-sig safe wallet so that we would be able to do batch CSV transactions to accommodate paying out the top 1%. So I was just able to complete those today. Now it only takes like literally a minute to pay out every week. So I would expect those payouts to go out almost immediately every Tuesday now, the day after the tournament. So that should be fun. Now I am paying close attention to the wallets getting paid out, seeing how they're being distributed, seeing the impact of that. And again, just basically prepping everybody for mainnet.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ryan, for giving us sort of like a timeline to expect. Right. But yeah, guys, Platinum Market Quest, we'll talk a bit about that in the next slide. But new wallets get 200 GMAC, to start exploring linear markets. So that's still staying the same. The daily GMAC faucet still remains 15 GMIC daily. So nothing is changing with regards to that. And if there is, we'll definitely, Ryan will give us more details about that. But I believe that is staying the same for now,
Indeed.
right, Ryan?
Yep. Any changes there, I'll let you guys know. The only thing that I could see happening, of course, would be if we get, any infrastructure updates, if we need to do anything where GMIC might get reset and I need to give everybody a big heads up, I'll let you know. But of course, as you guys know, the resets have been accommodated pretty well. I usually bring in some new quests. And from what I've seen, we did see the engagement numbers spike right back up, even with the new GMIC. And I do think a lot of people don't mind the reset, especially if you lost all your in a bad week. I've already blown up several of these every once in a while. I set up a new account and test out the app. And I'll get bored. I'll put 200 GMIC down and I'll be like, oh no. So if you got my GMIC, good for you. But yeah, no changes to this for now. If I see anything in the data that scares me, I'll let everyone know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. But just to talk a bit more about like the platinum challenges. I mean, we spoke about this last week, right? But some people might be wondering, does this mean because it's all consolidated at the moment, right? So some people might be wondering, does this mean I can't earn as much points as before? What's going on, right? So just sort of like a refresher for everyone that might be.
So I keep the expected points per user in different buckets pretty closely calculated. So I know what like the max points anyone from any different type of range can get. So if you complete all of these quests, what does that mean, and etc. What I instituted recently was batching everybody based off of the amount they were doing per prediction, right? Basically, we spent the first 6 weeks of the testing just to see what type of volume we could get, right? Can we fill 6,600 markets a day? I had no idea, right? Like, I just joined. We spent 60 days building this product as quick as we could. It's now been a little over, and it's, I think my first 100 days are now done, right? And in that time, we're trying to identify how people want to interact with this app. So the volume-based ones were basically a test to see, can we fill all of the markets so that there's something to do no matter what when you touch the app? If you load the app right now, it's clear that that's true, right? We do 500,000 predictions a day. Now, I did not know when we launched this app that we were going to do 500,000 predictions a day. I'm very excited about it, right? It's a fortunate position to be in, as we talked about. But as my activity continues to scale up from what I'm seeing in the data, functionally, it's important for me to create these bands that reward people based on deeper levels of activity, right? And the deepest level of activity you can do is on average predict for higher amounts, right? Because that means you either trust your strategies or et cetera, right? So that being said, what I wanted to do was to make sure that it was easier to understand how to claim these quests. So we just put them all into tiers. So depending on what tier you fall into, you'll just automatically be able to claim that tier. It should be much easier to understand. Now, I don't know if I'll call them platinum or anything like that. I might make them easier to understand for next, well, not next week, maybe the following week. But yeah, it looks like everyone figured it out.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this, right, just before we move on, is the fact that now it's sort of automatic, right? So you do not have to, come claim the points here, right, like you would previously do, right? So this just automatically get distributed, right? So yeah, that's awesome. Right, Ryan? I think some of these get automatically distributed, right? Or
Yeah, aside from the PNL points,
yeah,
the price quest,
yeah.
for instance, are automatic.
Yeah. Awesome. So Ryan, this is kind of like what I've been waiting to talk about, right? Super exciting update. I mean, I'm really, really excited to hear a bit more about this from you, but there are so many people that might be seeing this for the first time and wondering, what am I looking at and what's directly in front of me? So I would, let you talk about this, Ryan.
For sure. Yeah, so this is going to look like a lot at first for people who've never seen it before, but the idea here is that we want to add additional options on each market. So right now you can just do higher or lower. What we want to do is provide you 3 additional ranges of outcomes, which will be more or less likely, right? So a moon might be if it settles higher, but it settles in the top like 1.5 standard deviations away, right? And how these will look on the chart will be very easy to understand. But this would be, instead of taking on average like a 2x payout, as you guys see when you are currently interacting with the app, you might be able to get up to like a 14x payout if you hit crash or moon. And I think that would be a much more fun thing to do than just flip a coin, right?
Yeah. Cool. So, Ryan, I think one thing just for those that might be wondering, right, is to say, so this basically offers like a bit more opportunity for more people to get like more rewards, right? It's kind of like in a nutshell.
So right now, right, like when you're looking at the pool and you're watching the pool develop and move left and right, you basically know that, okay, I just need to pick a side, right? What do I think is going to happen based off of everything that's happened so far? Now, when you're making that decision, if you were really confident, right, and you would just automatically take the higher and you just place your bet and you're like, I'm already in, right? Now, there's no way for you to express how confident you are right now. If you were really, really confident, you might take moon and say, not only do I think it's going to settle higher, I think it's going to close at the end of that minute at the top of its range, right? So it's basically going to trend up for the whole minute. If it hit that, you would, hit the moon and you'd probably hit like a 14x. And what that means is that you were just weighted heavier into the exact same pool. So the math is really beautiful here. There's nobody taking the other side of your moon bet, right? Like if you wanted to trade a product like this somewhere on like a casino or another prediction market, you would need to trade a separate market. You would need to go trade, I don't think Bitcoin's going to be higher in the next 5 minutes. I think Bitcoin will be greater than XYZ price. In order to offer that market, Polymarket or Kalshi or anybody else needs to provide the other side of the trade, right? And the way that they do that is by mostly using liquidity providers and market makers. In this ratio, if all 6 pools are filled, we'll settle things normally, right? Which means that if moon hits, both higher and pump also win, right? Because it obviously settled higher and it obviously settled pump and then it obviously settled moon. Now, if it settles higher only, right, in between that range, then pump and moon lose. And both crash down and lower also lose. So now higher wins from a larger pool of bettors, right? Everybody is no longer segmented into just 2 pools. Now the people who bet higher when it only closes right at the bottom of the range, barely higher, will win even more if other people thought it was going to go up higher. So now everything gets blown up into proportions, right? Everything goes from being a 50-50 game to being much deeper and much more mathematically complex. But from the user experience, you basically just get way bigger payout opportunities if you're confident in either side. And there will be some very interesting choices, I think, depending on what's happening in the markets. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. Ryan, but just a bit about like the mechanics, right? And I know this is, still in the process of being, fully planned and fully thought out, right? But just a bit about like the mechanics of how this could possibly work. Right, like the rules governing it and things like that before we,
So like I said, instead of having 6 separate markets, it's still only the same market, right? And it's the same market because it's still the same pool. It's still settling to one of 6 different outcomes, right? And sometimes the 6th outcome can also batch in the other 2 and make it pure 50-50, right? Depending on where it settles. So the idea is that each individual portion of the pool has a different weight, right? So depending on the math, let's say if I took pump versus higher, my $1 was worth $2 more in the pool than it would be if it was just $1, right? So if we win, okay, higher wins and they win double their money or whatever the math works out to be. But because I also got it right that it was higher than higher, right? It settled into pump, then I make that additional money, right? And I maybe get paid out, 2 cents or $2 on the dollar, right? And I make 3x based instead of like a 1.8x. So the idea here is that allow you to have expression, right? Allow you to pick different ranges of outcomes. And on a 1-minute chart or even on like a 30-second chart, that could be really crazy, right? You're sitting there and you say, I don't know how often everyone sits and stares at these charts like I do, but every time I see the market go into like higher and then it really keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And then right at the end of the minute, I'm like, oh, everyone who bet higher is like, they've just been chilling for the last 50 seconds, like, oh, I'm about to double my money. And I think that's really fun. But then imagine you're sitting there sweating it out where if it went up like another $1, another like 0.5% or something like that, you'd hit like a 10x, right? And right now our product doesn't offer those opportunities. Now, here's the beauty. If you wanted to get an experience like that, where you want like a 10x reward, usually you either need to trade leverage, right? Which again is extremely risky for the average person. Like, it's not an easy concept to understand, right? Now, In ours, the pools themselves don't require any collateral, any margin, or anything like that in order to provide the same type of experience, right? If you took that 10x payout, that's because you were weighted deeper into the pool and there was enough money to pay you out, right? There was enough losers, basically, who got it wrong. And the whole point of that, is to make sure that we stay solvent and can scale so that we can still offer, hundreds of thousands of markets a day.
Yeah, this definitely so exciting. I mean, like Ryan said,
I would say that this is Matthew and I's real kind of like eureka moment for how we can make these different types of experiences really horizontally scalable. So the beauty of all of this, right, is that it's still the same market chain, it's still the same pool, it's just paying out with different mathematical logic, which we can just still do fully on chain, right? And then it just distributes out and flushes back out to the likely participants based off of the math. So, and the sigma and the way that we define, the different ranges, there's a bunch of institutional math that governs all of this. So we don't really need to make anything up. It's just using it for the Linera architecture specifically, which means that now we have right now 9 markets, right? 9 market chains that are recurring on their own timeframes. We run around 6,600 markets a day, and there's only 2 options for everyone. So if you do the math very quickly, there's 12,000 decisions that could be made on any given day, right? Which means our users, of their 13,000 of them, only have 12,000 decisions, right? So like you think about the global space for making a bunch of fun, different decisions, it's not huge. If all of a sudden each market has 6 options, I won't try and, act like I can do this math on the fly, right? But you can do the math, right? If we ended up with 20 assets and we had 3 or 5 markets for each of those assets, next thing you know, we're literally going to have millions of markets and millions of decisions every day, right? So this game can become very, very deep from the perspective of how much we have to offer very quickly. And that's why we're so excited about the foundational product, because it can already handle 500,000 predictions. If we can scale that into 5 million, into 10 million, and we offer all of these different playgrounds of opportunities, that's where we can reach that escape velocity that there's millions of traders, right? You can't go after millions of traders and try to compete with Robinhood if you don't have the product to give them unlimited opportunities, right? And that's what Robinhood offers, right? Unlimited markets, unlimited derivatives, trade anything, anywhere, all at once, right? And we're trying to recreate a DeFi crypto version of that fully on chain. And obviously we're early, but you can see how quickly things expand kind of out of control, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's super exciting. And I mean, like Ryan, we expect that, there'll be more details about this like in the coming weeks as this sort of grows and matures and gets close to being, to going live on the Linera markets. Awesome. So yeah, guys, just a quick run through of some of the key details, right? Like we mentioned, you still get, new wallets to get 200 GMIC on joining the tournaments. The 15 GMIC daily faucet still remains the same. A little adjustment to point out is, every prediction greater than 1 GMIC ends portal point. So, you start to end from 0.2 portal point up onto, 10 plus or 20 plus GMIC prediction ends 1 portal point, right? So the details of this are all in the, in the quest part of the portal, and you can definitely, get more information there on how to, the mechanics of the quest. Transferring GMIC is disabled, so that's against the competition rules. The point system still remains the same, so the structure is still the same. The top 1%, top 5% still get to earn the same point. And like we always mention, it's fascinating because you definitely do not have to be like the most skilled trader out there, right, to be able to earn, enough points, right, so, rank up and scale up on the leaderboard. So that's really interesting. Some quick best practices, right? Like we mentioned, make sure to bookmark Linera Markets on the portal website. Always use one active trading window to ensure a better trading experience. You need to also understand the rounds and understand the fact that you're placing your prediction ahead of the next market, right? And you lock in your prediction, and once you lock in your prediction, it's locked in, right? And then you get to upload your trades. As if you do not upload your trades, there is no way for it to get added to the leaderboard, and therefore you would not be able to earn points, right? And you got to use the same login method for Linera Market and the portal, and lots of the key details are contained in the pin messages in the main chat. But Ryan, before we let you go, right, there might be people that might be wondering, is the team going to be in Consensus Miami? For people that might be around and might want to, maybe come say hi, or
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
know if the Linear team would definitely be involved. So would that be
yeah.
happening?
We'll be around. Matthew and I will be around all week. We'll be going to different. I'm not sure which parts of the conference we'll be going to, but we'll obviously be around at side events, and we have a few dinners with a bunch of really fun and exciting groups that we're hoping to make some partnerships with, and obviously look to hear more from.
Awesome. Ryan, are we going to get some pictures?
Yeah, definitely. You guys will get some pictures of Matthew and I out and about in Miami.
Cool. That would be cool.
But
yeah.
Okay, go on, Jay. I saw you were done with
No,
Ryan.
no. You can go ahead. You can go ahead, Miss
Okay.
Jules.
Ryan, just I don't know, I've thrown this question to you before, and I'm seeing it here in the comments about the cap for 300 points a day. And
yeah.
this person said it was implemented after the first day of week 7, and there's no
Okay.
fairness in this. Yeah, just bring up the question. So he's talking about fairness before the
Yeah,
300 cap. Yeah.
So obviously I've been paying attention to this, right? And I know that in that first day, there's obviously some automated trading going on that had huge numbers. So I'm in contact with the user who did most of that, and I've been trying to get some more insight into how it works and everything like that, so that I know how the points will work and what that top side fear might be depending on how much points go in. Now, what I wanted to pose, and we can certainly put this into Discord, is if we would like to retroactively apply that cap. I won't do it myself because I don't really feel like that's fair for me to just say, oh, because I was late on the rules, I'm just going to change it back. Now, if we put it up for a vote and we got enough of people in the vote, and I would probably require like a certain percentage of the DAU to vote, right? Like I would probably need a couple hundred people to vote, right? Like I don't want to strip somebody's points away on just like 50 people's opinions. So if enough people voted and maybe a certain amount of the community advisors, I'll have to consider it because I want to keep it fair. But I wouldn't mind, fixing that up and communicating to that user the reason why we're doing it. But of course, I would want to do that by community vote. So any feedback on that would be greatly appreciated, and we can take that up in different chats in the Discord.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ryan. Another
Sweet.
question, quick one from the Discord.
Sure.
He said from Rajib Ahmed that he sees people receiving USDC reward. And what if someone created an account using an email? How would they receive the reward?
Yeah, so what you'll need to do is to go into Dynamic. So you can either do that. I think the easiest way would just be to go to Dynamic itself. And if you don't have like the Dynamic app or anything like that, I would just Google it. And then from there, you can go and abstract out your keys. So if you're used to exporting your private keys or anything like that, there will be an EVM wallet generated automatically. As soon as you connect it to us, you either have to have that user chain, right? And we also check to make sure that EVM wallet address is generated. So for example, if I sent you USDC, you already have a wallet address, right? I wouldn't be able to send it to you if you didn't have it. So now it's more important that you're able to find it. And if you're having issues finding it, just reach out to us in the chat and we'll help you out. But yeah, the easiest thing to do is to just go to Dynamic directly. And you sign in the exact same way as you would sign into the app, by the way.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Ryan.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I've got to jump. I will see you guys not next week because I'll be at Consensus, but I look forward to seeing the replay of the community hour, and then I'll see you guys a week after that. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Ryan.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Ryan. Bye. Awesome. Amazing. Yeah, guys, can you hear me good, Miss Jules? Just before I continue.
Yes, I can. Go on.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, back to the regular part of the committee. So committee advisor roles still remain the same. We talk about this every week, and I'm sure everyone is basically familiar with all these roles, right? So yeah, you can still become a committee advisor at the moment, and possibly it still remains the same in the future. Ms. Jules, is there an adjustment or a new, any adjustments to the main challenge leaderboard, or is it still the same?
Yeah, I'm really behind on this. Congrats to Canels, who is the meme lord. and
Oh,
also
nice.
yeah, for winning the meme challenge. And also congrats to, I think, Trandon, right? I hope I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Trando, I think. Yeah.
Just one second, please. Let me just confirm. Yeah, congrats to Trandon. I think this is your first win for memes. So 4 more
Cool.
wins and you become a meme lord. So cheers. And shout out to all creators so far creating amazing memes. Keep it up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Jules. On the Game Lord
Welcome.
side, yeah, shout out to Q100K. That's a very interesting username, Q100K. But shout out to you for winning the tournament last week. And also T-Bag Cole. You're the recent 11th place, so shout out to you regardless, right? And by the way, if you don't get to see your name on this leaderboard, it's still on the leaderboard. The leaderboard is quite lengthy, so just a portion of it can be displayed on the community hour slide. So you're definitely still on the leaderboard. um Esther Akudo, we're definitely still going to talk about content, right? Ads, memes, and things like that as we continue. In fact, we're about to start talking about those, right? In a few minutes or so. So yeah, thank you. Shout out to community advisors, right? Like I mentioned, you could still become a community advisor. Shout out to Bagos321 who became the most recent newbie navigator. Shout out to you. Shout out to Bavan on becoming an artisan. Thank you for creating amazing art. Shout out to New Era 3 on becoming an ambassador, right? You guys have been contributing, and shout out to you. Congrats on becoming community advisors, and we hope to, still see more of your amazing contributions as Linear continues to, work towards improving linear markets and work towards mainnets. Thank you guys for contributing as always. Um, yeah, regional tournaments still the same. Big shout out to Captain for stepping up to help host regional tournaments. Thank you so much. And I know a tournament held a few days back and it was pretty successful. So thank you so much, Captain, and shout out to every other person that has been helping to host regional tournaments in Discord. Thank you so much, and shout out to you guys. And if you're in a region where this doesn't happen, we'll definitely you can take the initiative and we would provide as much support as we can to help you make sure that this happens. So shout out to you guys. We're meant to have a different game this week, but so the dev could not quite get it up to speed in time. So we're gonna play poker this week, but hopefully next week, fingers crossed, we're gonna have a new game, Sudoku or any of the other game or microchains for next week. Right. So same time, right? You still get to win this. Winning this, puts you one step towards becoming game lord. And yeah, 3 wins make you or ends you the game lord role. And it's been a while we had a new game lord, right? A lot of new winners and a lot of people are sort of like winning twice, but it's been a while since we had like someone win like for the third time. So it would be nice to see that happen. So yeah, like we always do, guys, we have a question. Oh my god, do I even okay, I think I know the answer to this, but we have a question, and what we do is we ask the question. So if you're new, we basically have this thing where we ask a question on the community. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, Esther. She said, I just joined Lina and I'm learning a lot. Yeah, thank you so much. And there's still so much more, we're still going to talk about. And there's so much more information in Discord as well. We have amazing newbie navigators that would guide you, as well as, myself, Miss Jules, Golden, and Gordon, who are, helping to moderate the community as well. So you're in good hands. You're in good hands. But yeah, guys, so we have this thing where we ask a question on the community and the first person that gets to answer the question gets to receive XPs on the call. And I'll quickly get to it because of our time. So here's the question, guys. How many points can you earn per day for making an average of 20 plus GMAG daily prediction? How many points can you earn per day for making an average of 20 plus GMAG daily prediction? It will be
Oops.
interesting to see if it'll be interesting to see who actually gets the answer. I'm sure Miss Jules knows the answer though. Oh, I think we already have an answer, by the way. Miss Jules, are we seeing the same person? because I see. Can you hear me, Miss Jules?
Yeah, sure, I can. Sorry, I was in
Okay.
Discord.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Um, I see Farhan Ahmed. Because that's it, it's by the way, guys, it's not 300. Facer it's not 1,000, right? Shout out to Farhan Ahmed. Please, for want of time, quickly, type out your um Discord username in the chat, and you get to receive 1,000 XPs, and hopefully from there, you start to level up your chains if you already haven't, right? So thank you so much. And this sad Jesse, you're close, but you're right, but you're just a bit late. But thank you so much, guys. So to quickly run
Please
through
drop
our
your
creators.
Discord handle, Farhan
Yeah,
Ahmed. Farhan Ahmed.
cool. Um, all right. Creators, right? People that make content, you want to make content, and you're already making content for the now. And the content challenge for this week was early versus late. So maybe it is about the best time to place your bet and join a pool on linear market. Maybe it is about the best time of day to make predictions, or about the swings in the market and the ultimate entry point. This challenge is all about whether early or late entry works best for you. Create a post out of meme reflecting your experience. Submit all content directly in Discord or to Discord. Interesting
Um,
topic.
Hold on, JY, before you continue, let me just quickly
Yeah,
answer a question here from Esther Kudu. She said, sorry, but what do we read to know these answers? It's on the portal, portal.lineara.net. You're going to see the different quests and the portal points allocated to it. Also, when you check our pin messages on Discord, you're still going to see the
yeah,
answer to these
awesome,
questions.
awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Jules.
Okay.
And please, Esther, feel free to sort of interact on Discord. There's so many helpful hands that would help like guide you and tell you what to do and where to find the best and most recent information and all of that. Thank you so much, Miss Jules. So quickly, social posts, right? Topic from ambassadors, Crips Julie, Fino, Gretchekage. Oh my God, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce that. Hawk Junior, Victoria. This is from Julie, who's an ambassador. Um, Fino says good graphics. For me, it works. For me, it works much better to trade in the morning with a fresh mind. Decisions feel clearer, and I'm less likely to rush or act emotionally. Nice perspective. Nice perspective. Thank you so much, Julie. This is from Hawk or Alexander KS. So Julie said, good post and cool video. So I think this is okay. Yeah, the video is up. Let's see what the video is about.
It's a movie. Red carpet, the lights going through me. Anytime I arrive, it's the new me. Real diamonds on my neck, that's groovy. Flashing lights. All these things come to me. Dressing price. All my rings got weight to it. You feel that? You feel that?
Hey. Oh my God, this is so cool. This is so cool. Thank you so much, Hawk. Thank you, Hawk. Julie says, okay, yeah, good post and cool video. Early into the pool, raw odds, high influence. You're late in the pool, crowd signal, clear picture, amazing song. That's definitely going to get added to the rotation of our intro songs for the community. That's really cool. I wish I could rap like that. Anton, thank you for creating amazing art. It's very clever and infographic. Yeah, definitely. So this is sort of, I think this captures almost everything that you might need to know right about linear markets. And this is quite informative. We might not be able to read all of it, but thank you so much, Anton, for creating very informative art or infographic. Keith, BM, and David, Junior says excellent analysis. Late entry equal to calculated edge. Watch the swings, read the sentiment, then strike when the crowd's priced in. Lower risk, sharper odds. I've entered early and won because the structure was clear I've entered it late and lost because I followed the crowd. Interesting. Miss Jules, before we continue, I think you can hear me, right? I would like to ask, typically, do you rather, like with linear markets, do you rather, go in once, like early, or you wait for like the last few seconds before you like make your prediction?
You have to go in early because sometimes when you wait till the last few seconds, your trade might not register.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
might miss
sure.
that round. So it's always advised to go in at least before 20, especially when you're trading the 1 minute markets. I think maybe trading other markets on my own side has been maybe only once or twice.
Yeah,
I'm always trading the 1 minute market. So
definitely.
it's always advisable to, enter the market like that particular round at least 20 to 30 seconds before, the end of that round. The end of the previous round, because obviously
Yeah,
we're betting for the next round. So I
market.
don't know if that
Yeah,
makes any sense. So I think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
our best practices, to make sure you go in, enter the trade early, you know,
Yeah.
before, yeah, to avoid sync issues and maybe your trade not registering and stuff like that. So yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. That's interesting. Although it's hard for me because most times I would always want to wait to the last like few seconds, but that's
That means
bad
you're
habits.
among the lucky ones.
That's bad habits. But anyway, back to the post. This is from SKS or Salman TRB. Um, the real skill isn't perfect timing, it's being able to trust your own process. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Very, very nice infographic that captures a lot of key details. Thank you. This is from Good Boy. Oh, been a while I saw a post from Good Boy, actually. Wow, nice to see you again, Good Boy. And Leonid Bon. Interesting analysis, great banner. The network speed supports you whether you like to take the lead or close the deal at the finish line. It all boils down to your preferred level of pressure. True. Early players build the patience and strategy. Late players often react to fear or hype. Are you trying to say I react to fear or hype? But amazing post, amazing post nonetheless. Cybermoon, Ryoko, Bosch. Thank you guys. I don't chase palms, I chase timing. Are you ready? Are you early enough to lead or late enough to confirm? Amazing, amazing. Thank you guys for, informative posts. Leboa, New Era. Congrats on becoming an ambassador, New Era. And OGMI or OGMI, I guess. Um, Nice. I think there's a video from OGMI just to let's quickly
Early
see it.
или late. Ранний вход дает преимущество в информации, а поздний – уверенность. Что работает лучше именно для тебя на Linera Market? Самые вкусные свинги рынка происходят в первые часы. Early Birds забирают жирные профиты. Latecomers им спокойствие и подтвержденный тренд. Лучшее время для предсказаний. Утро, когда рынок только просыпается, или вечер, когда уже видны все сигналы. Кто-то заходит в пул в первые минуты и рискует, а кто-то ждет последние часы и забирает уже сформировавшийся консенсус. На Linera выигрывают и те, и другие, главное знать свой стиль. Early равно высокая доходность и волнение. Late равно более точный расчет и меньший риск.
Cool. Nice. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. OGMI or OGMI. Amazing. Our art top pick from Artisans. Ika, Ololo, S7H, One for Zenitsu, Zen Alistair. Awesome. So let's quickly run through. This is from Sanjib Das. Early versus late. Cool to see Mox. Wow. It seems like everyone is against late entry, which is good to see. But amazing. Thank you so much for having like an infographic with some of the best practices. And yeah, thank you so much. Nico and ambassadors, they need to say smooth visuals. Oh, nice. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I think this captures the 1, 3, and 5 minutes market and the BTC, ETH, and so amazing. Anton, strong concepts and clarity says Ololo, timing is alpha, says in it too. So both are from Anton. Really nice. Oh, I like this chess inspiration. Wow, nice. Reminds me of I played a chess game with a friend yesterday and I lost so bad. But yeah, amazing, amazing inspiration, Anton. That's really, really cool. And cool to see Mox as well. This is from Chaos, former Colosseum, entire creative art, great visual contrast. Oh, really nice, really nice. I like this shirt with like Linera Markets because I know most of the Linera merch that I've seen, that have been made by like community have always been just Linera, but not Linera Markets. That's cool. And I really like this. I don't know, Miss Jules, I think I really like this one that has like Ryan, I think myself, you, Mox. I think that's Gordon and has like Danny's Me beat as well. That's so cool. Um, nice, amazing, amazing. Arceus. Yeah, so this is from Sharon and Swans. Clear and relatable says Ololo. Nice. I really like this first image. It's just quite simple and quite informative as well. To always go early in the market. Cool. Um, oh wait, is this seems like this is like handmade? I'm not sure, but it really looks like it was handmade or someone just held a. But if this was actually handmade, it's really, really cool, Swan. It's really, really lovely. Thank you so much. Amazing. Um, this is from Annie Todd Aliska Hemi on Jupiter Kadua, Her Excellency. Awesome, awesome art, guys. Awesome art. Mobies and Alistair, DC, cool to see DC, making art again. Nice. I really like I think this is this is Matthew. Wow, this is really cool. I really like this. Feels like the homepage of a comic. That's really nice. And I think that's Gordon with the trumpet. But amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Um Cuckoo Killer, Ellie versus Late. I think this is like the Linera team, I guess. Or like the Linera maybe volleyball team or something. Really nice. Wow, thank you. Thank you guys for making amazing art. Novelties. Always excited to see the novelties. We have not been able to see the comments, but so quickly, let's run through the novelties. This is from Arceus or Legak. Ooh, video. Let's see.
Love you so much. Feel the vibe. Linera Market. You and I. Shining bright. Inside the light. Stay with me all through the night.
Ooh, nice. Very nice, Legak. Although, it was nice that you had like a love theme around it though. That's very cool. Thank you for creating. So this is from Brozen Star, who is a newbie navigator. I think this is a video. It's taking some time to load up. Okay, yep. We have it now. Let's see.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you. We will rock you. Buddy, you're a young man, hot.
Oh my god, that was quite funny. Frozen stuff. That was really funny. Thank you for making, amazing, amazing videos. Miss Jules, I think we made it in time for like the memes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you, Jay. Shout out to our meme lords, Captain, Johnny Calconi, Mandy Udo, Sauce Yvonne, Potato FECK, Michaelu Juvoy, and France. Thank you guys so much for taking all the time to review last week meme challenge.
Awesome.
Drop your ratings, guys. Rate 1 to 10. Don't be scared. Is it a 1 for you, a 5, 8, 10? And let's
Miss
go.
Jules, before we go in, do you think that like for our meme section, it would be nice to just have like a cool, or maybe even for the art and the social post, it would be nice to just have like a cool background song, just like all instrumental just playing. What do you think? Maybe for like
What
subsequent
about
community hours.
audios? What about those memes, those video memes?
Yeah, I think those will get automatically paused. Like the sound will get automatically paused when there's a video playing, I think. But we could try it out maybe in next community hour. Let's
Okay.
see. That might maybe be a cool feel. But yeah, let's go with the meme.
Yeah, that's so
Wait,
slow. Hold on.
let me post this.
Wait up, it's Eddie looking at the chart. Fine.
Yeah, cool meme, cool meme.
I could mean, but I cannot relate.
Um, I think I think that might not necessarily totally apply to like linear markets, right?
Exactly.
And it might just be like a general trading meme. Yeah, you sold early and the markets completely skyrocketed. So,
And let's start.
I relate on a general like trading perspective.
Okay,
So
from Pami, shoot formal, early, late. Early or late doesn't matter. Timing is your balance. Nine,
oh,
7,
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'll probably see like a 7.
7 from Smolina. Morning, I'm running to the narrow markets. I'm trying to eat in the evening.
Oh my God. So you've been like in front of your, screens the whole day. That's funny.
Yeah, especially when you're trading 1 minute markets.
Yeah. You can get so
Addictive,
addicted to the
guys.
chart.
Yeah. So from our meme lord, Illuminat Milos, choosing the perfect entry point into a position on the narrow markets during high market volatility, during low. You have to analyze the market properly. Mm,
Wait, I'm sorry, let me just read this quickly. Choosing it again, the perfect entry point. With choosing the perfect entry point into a position on the narrow market, you have to analyze the market properly during high market volatility, during low market volatility. I think I get the idea,
okay.
right? I think I get the idea actually. And the it's like, okay, do you want to sort of like go when the market is like really volatile? Or do you want to like would you rather just predict when the market is like not as volatile, like there's not a lot of spike and not a lot of movement? So yeah, I mean, I get that, and I think I kind of get the cow reference as well. So cool, cool meme.
Yeah. Johnny, meme lord. Early versus late, good question. I'll use my own example to show you how my day goes depending on my choices. Early, late.
Okay,
I
yeah, I
like
think
that.
this is actually a good meme.
Yeah, funny. Nice one, Johnny.
Thank you so much, Johnny Cocconi. Awesome. Okay, yeah, we have, I think this is a video.
Stuff is video.
Yeah, it's loading up, loading up.
Hey, Nate. How's life? I don't know. It's alright. I've been dealing
What?
with some. The beat go. Oh, ain't that some drums came in?
Oh my god. That was cool. I don't know if Miss
That's
Jules
funny.
caught that, but that was
Yeah,
actually
I
cool.
did. I did.
Yeah,
That was
nice,
funny.
nice, nice, nice. Let's see. Okay,
Um,
yeah.
Panels. Types of headache. Migraine, hypertension, stress.
Ye-
10 second left and wallet sign still not showing. Guys,
Oh
you
my
see why I
god,
say
I can relate to
this
this.
is why I say it's always good to place your bets early.
Yeah. And you know what's funny, Miss Jones, is like when when the trade doesn't place, right, and then the new market opens and you realize that it went exactly the way you thought it would, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, from JB Rush. I hope the market won't suck if I enter early. The market every 1 minute.
Oh my God. I have no comments. I have no comments. In fact, in fact, I don't understand the meme. Miss Jules, do you understand the meme?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Cool, 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 cool. Good meme though.
Yeah.
Uh, oh,
Oh,
that was the last one.
yeah, that was so funny. Um, New content challenge for next week, guys. The marathon I ran. So, was this about reaching your target profits, your rank, or portal points? Or is it to do with tirelessly submitting your arts, posts, and memes to earn a special role? Or maybe it's more to do with a bug in the app you found exhausting or the buildathon app you built. We never said it will be easy. So create a meme, art, or a post about the marathon you ran and submit all content directly to Discord, please, not on X. So we're looking forward to seeing
Awesome.
your entries, guys. It could be a meme, it could be an art, it could be a video, it could be anything. Just post on Discord, we are watching.
Awesome.
No, you're
Awesome.
not posting on
Um,
X. That is a question to avoid your accounts from being banned at the moment. We don't know what Nikita's next step is gonna be, so it's best to post on Discord for now. Yeah.
cool. Thank you so much. And okay, I think we might have we have a heartbeat.
All
A
right.
little love for those who made a difference. Oh,
Shout out to
cool. Miss Jules?
Remide. Shout out to you, Remide. You've been super helpful in the main chat. You speak from personal experience, so we see you, hopping on a chat, trying to offer, directions and help. And thank you so much for also being an early adopter of the Lunera market and using the app every day. We appreciate you and we see you. Thank you, Remite, and shout out to you. Do you have anything else to say, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Remide and just like every other person, right, that is, active in the main chat that is helping and even helping out beyond like Discord, right? Like, telling people about Linera and just all around contributing, right? Shout out to you guys and you guys in general are like, the heartbeats of the community. But, this week we're definitely highlighting Remide and we'll definitely highlight like more people in the coming weeks. But thank you guys so much. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jules. Thank you so much. Yeah, before we, Miss Jules, I don't know if you have any final words before we wrap up.
Final words will always be the same, guys. Never stop predicting. Linear
Thank
markets
you.
is the next big thing, the next big prediction app, the next big whatever you can think of, and you shouldn't sleep on this. Yeah, keep predicting, guys.
Don't sleep on it, like Miss Jules said. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you. We'll see you guys same time, same place. Until then, good.